Hello children. In this video, we will learn about a lesson from 7th Standard English, Term 3, Unit 2, Supplementary Reader, Man Overboard, கடலில் விழுந்த மனிதன். Okay, so this is a lesson that we are going to be learning about in this video. So listen to me carefully. Before that, let us all learn the glossary from part 1 of this lesson. So children, you have to memorize and keep them in your mind carefully. Okay. டெக் அப்படின்னா கப்பல் தளம் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். ஸோ ஹார்பர் அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கே தெரியும் துறைமுகம். வேவ்டு அப்படின்னா கை அசைக்கிறது. ஷி வேவ்ட் அட் மீ அப்படின்னா கை அசைக்கிறது. த்ரில்டு அப்படின்னா எக்ஸைட்டட் சிலிப்பாக எக்ஸைட்டட் ஒரு ஒரு எதிர்பார்ப்போட எக்ஸைட்டட். எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் ஆய்வு செய்யறது தேடுறது. ஓகே, ஸோ தட் இஸ் கால்டு எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் சர்ச் பண்ணுறது. ஃபர்னிஷ் அமைத்து கொடு. ஓகே, ஒரு விஷயத்தை நல்லா கம்ப்ளீட்டாக முடிச்சு கொடுக்குறது தான் ஃபர்னிஷ். பிளண்டி அப்படின்னா லோட் ஆஃப் ஏராளமாக. ஸ்ப்ளட்டர் அப்படின்னா தெளிவின்றி பேசுறது கன்ஃபியூஸ்டு. ஓகே, கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணுறது தட் இஸ் கால்டு ஸ்ப்ளட்டர். ஸ்டோம் புயல். ப்ரீவ்னா விரைகிறது உருவாகுகிறது அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். ஸோ இந்த லெசனில் இதான மீனிங். ஓகேவா. பேனிக் அப்படின்னா பெரு அச்சம். பேனிக்னா அச்சம். ஓகே, சடன் ஃபியர். ஓகே, தட் இஸ் கால்டு பேனிக். டோன்ட் பி பேனிக். இன்க்ளைன் அப்படின்னா பாதிக்கப்படக்கூடிய. ஓகே, ஸோ கன்சோல்னா கம்ஃபோர்ட் பண்ணுறது, தோற்றுவிக்கிறது, சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுறது. தட் இஸ் கால்டு கம்ஃபோர்ட், கன்சோல். அப்செட் அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கே தெரியும் வருத்தம், துக்கம். அட்வென்ச்சர் சாகசங்கள். எக்ஸைட்டட்லி உற்சாகமாக. ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ் திசை மாறி போகிறது. ஓகே, வாண்டர் அப்படின்னா அலைந்து தெரியுறது, சுற்றி வர்றது. டு அண்ட் ஃப்ரோ முற்றும் பின்னும் முன்னும் பின்னும் முன்னும் பின்னும் போகிறது தான் டு அண்ட் ஃப்ரோ. லான்ச் அப்படின்னா ஓய்விடம். ஸோ யூ கேன் ஃபைண்ட் இட் இன் எவ்ரி ஷிப். ஸோ த ரூம் இஸ் கால்டு லான்ச். வைல்டு அப்படின்னா பயங்கரமாக. இந்த இடத்துல வைல்டுன்றது காடு கிடையாது. இந்த லெசனில் வந்து பயங்கரமாக கஷ்டமாக அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். ஸோ லெட்ஸ் மூவ் டு த லெசன் நவ். I'm going to read the lesson, so I will explain the lesson, so listen to me carefully. I stood on the deck of SS Rajula. Okay, as she was slowly moved out of Madras harbor, I waved to my grandparents until I could see them no more. I was thrilled to be on board a ship. It was a new experience for me. Okay, so who is narrating the story is Vasanta Murthy. Okay, she is the narrator of the story, and also she has written this story. Okay, so it's really happened in her life. That's what she is sharing with us. She says that she stood on the deck of Rajula. Rajula is the name of the ship. Okay, that's where she was standing on, and she was waving at her grandparents, and until she could see them no more. அவ வந்து அவங்க கிராண்ட் பேரண்ட்ஸை பார்த்து கை அசைச்சிட்டே இருக்கிறா. வேவ்டுன்னு அது கை அசைக்கிறது. she was waving at them until she could see them no more. அவங்க காணாம போற அளவுக்கு she was waving at them. Okay, actually where she was leaving from is she was leaving from Madras harbor. Okay, that's where she started leaving from. The she means she's referring, she means the ship. Okay, it was thrilled to be on board on ship. She says that it was so thrilled because she was completely thrilled when she was on the board of the ship. It was a new experience for her, for me. She says that it was a new experience for her. Are you traveling alone? Asked the person standing next to me. So there was a person who was standing with her. He asked Vasanta, are you traveling alone? நீ தனியா போயிட்டு இருக்கியா அப்படின்னு கேட்குறாங்க ஒரு stranger. Yes uncle, I am going back. Yes uncle, I am going back to my parents in Singapore, I replied. She replied that she was going to Singapore, back to her parents. Okay, actually she was with her uncle, she was with her grandparents. Now she is going back to Singapore to join with her family. Okay, what's your name? He asked. The strange man asked her, what was your name? She replied Vasanta. Okay, she replied that her name was Vasanta. Okay, I spent the day exploring the ship. It looked just like a big house. There were furnished rooms, swimming pool, a room for indoor games, and a library. Yet there was plenty of rooms to move around. Okay, the narrator says that Vasanta, she wanted to look around the ship. She wanted to explore what was on the ship. Okay, she wanted to search what was on the ship. So she went around to look around. The ship looked like a big house because everything in that house, everything in that ship, everything. Okay, it looked like a big house for her. There were furnished rooms. There were completely furnished rooms. Furnished முழுமையா complete பண்ண rooms நிறைய இருக்குது. Okay, swimming pool was there in the ship. A room for indoor games, and also there was a room for indoor games, and a library. Even there was a library in the ship. There was a plenty of rooms to move around. There were a lot of rooms in that ship to move around, to see around. Okay, there were a lot of rooms, plenty of rooms. Plenty means what? A lot of rooms. You can see it on the screen. The picture, no, that is called a launch, where you can rest yourself, where you can take rest, where you can have your breakfast, where you can have your tea or something. You can read your newspaper, whatever you want. You can do that. Simply, we can call it restroom. Okay. So the next morning, the passengers were seated in the dining hall having breakfast. The loudspeaker spluttered noisily, and then the captain's voice came loud and clear. Okay, so in the next morning, the people gathered in the dining hall to have their breakfast. Okay, the loudspeaker spluttered noisily. There was a speaker on the ship. It was spluttering. Spluttering means confused. People could not understand what they were saying, because the speaker was spluttering. Okay, and then after that, the captain voice was clear and loud. After that, the people could hear the voice of the captain, what he was telling them, what he was announcing them. So the people could understand after the noise by the captain. Friends, we have just received a message that a storm is brewing in the Indian Ocean. And I request all of you to keep calm, do not panic. Those who are inclined to sickness may please stay in their cabins. Thank you. So, what the captain was saying is, there was a storm coming towards the ship, coming towards them. There was a storm, ஒரு புயல் உருவாகிருச்சு. Brewing means what? Created, உருவாகிருக்கு in the Indian Ocean. So I request all the people, he requests all the people to stay calm in their place. To stay calm in their place, don't be panic. யாருமே பதட்டப்படாதீங்க. Just be casual. And those who have been affected by seasick, ப்ளீஸ் ஸ்டே இன் யுவர் கேபின்ஸ். யாருக்கெல்லாம் வந்து கடல் நோய் இருக்குதோ, கடல் சி சிக்னஸ் அப்படி இருக்குதோ, நோய்பட்டு இருக்கிறவங்களாம், யூ கேன் ஸ்டே இன் யுவர் ரூம். ஓகே, டோன்ட் கம் அவுட் ஆஃப் யுவர் கேபின். உங்கள் ரூமை விட்டு வெளியே வராதீங்க. ஹூ இஸ் இன்ஃபார்மிங் லைக் திஸ்? த captain of the ship. Okay, he was informing the people to stay calm because there was a storm started and it was coming towards them. There was panic everywhere. Everyone was panicked. எல்லாரும் பயந்துட்டாங்க. And one lady prayed aloud, "Oh God, have mercy on us. My only son is waiting for me in Singapore." There was a woman, she started wailing, she started crying, and she started praying to God that, "Please God, have mercy on us." எங்க மேல கருணை காட்டு. She started praying to the God like that. And there was only one son for her in Singapore. She says that there was only one son for her in Singapore. So please save me. Please take me to Singapore safely. Who's praying like this? Yes, the lady next to Vasanta, she was praying like that to save herself. To God. She was praying to God. Yeah, a gentleman consoled her. "Don't worry, madam. It's just a warning. We may not be affected at all." So there was a gentleman next to the lady, crying lady, and he comforted her. He comforted her that, consoled her that, "Don't worry, madam. It's just a warning only. It's just information. Don't worry. Don't be panic. Okay, everything will be all right. Nothing would affect us. நம்மளால எதுவுமே பண்ணாது. Nothing may not be affected. May not be affected all of us. So don't be panic. Don't cry like this." Who was consoling like this? There was a gentleman who was consoling the crying woman. Another lady who was sitting beside me looked very ill. "Not rough weather. I'm already seasick. A rough sea will be the end of me." She says that there was another lady. She was also crying, and that she was completely ill. அவ ரொம்ப உடம்பு சரியில்லாம இருந்தாங்க, அந்த woman. Okay. Not rough weather. Rough weather இல்ல. But if the weather is changing, definitely I will die. Okay. Now the weather is not changing. The weather is all right now. But if the weather changes, then I will die. Who says? Then it will be end for me. எண்ட் ஆஃப் மீ. அப்புறம் என் கதையே முடிஞ்சிடும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த கிரைங். த அனதர் லேடிஸ் ஆல்சோ வாஸ் கிரைங் லைக் தட். I could not understand why all the elders were upset. I remember the several sea adventures I had read about. She says that Vasanta, why these people are panicked? Why these people are worrying like this? Because I have read about a lot of adventures in my book. நான் என் புக்ல நிறைய அட்வென்ச்சர்ஸ் படிச்சிருக்கிறேன். சீல போகும்போது எவ்வளோ ஒரு அட்வென்ச்சர்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கும். Why these people are crying like this? Enjoy this time, enjoy this situation. Who says? The Vasanta, the narrator of the story. Excitedly, I turned to the elderly gentleman sitting next to me. Uncle, won't it be thrilling to face a storm on board on a steamer? Have you ever been on a ship during a storm? And there was a man next to Vasanta. She asked him a question. Sir, uncle, why won't it be thrilling to face a storm on a board steamer? So it will be, won't it be thrilling? இது வந்து த்ரில்லிங்கா இருக்காதா? நம்ம வந்து கப்பல்ல போயிட்டு இருக்கும்போது புயல் வந்துச்சுன்னா, இது வந்து நம்மளுக்கு த்ரில்லிங்கா இருக்காதா? It will be so nice, no? Why these people are crying like this? Who says? Who is asking? Vasanta is asking the another man next to her. Have you ever been on a ship during a storm? நீங்க இது முன்னாடி நீங்க புயல் வரும்போது கப்பல்ல இருந்திருக்கிறீங்களா? She is asking question like that. It can be quite unpleasant. He says that it will be quite unpleasant. Unpleasant means if the storm comes, it will be unpleasant for all of us. It will be bad feeling. Okay, it will not be nice for us because storm is not simple thing. If it comes, it will destroy the entire ship. We all will die. Who says that? Newman. He replied rather severely. He was saying seriously about this incident. I remember a time when the ship on which I was traveling ran off. Of course, we were wandering on the ocean for a couple of days. Okay. The author says that Vasanta, okay, yes, I could remember when I was traveling in the ocean, there was a storm. We were diverted into a different place. We were suffering for almost couple of days. ஆமா, நான் ஒரு டைம் நான் கப்பல்ல போயிட்டு இருக்கும்போது இந்த மாதிரி தான் வழி தவறி போயிட்டோம். நாங்க வந்து ஒரு கொஞ்ச நாள் வந்து கொஞ்சம் வழி தெரியாம திணறிட்டு இருந்தோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவ சொல்றா. I remember my class teacher, an English woman, telling us in a class one day, when I crossed the English Channel on my way to Singapore, there was a big storm near Gibraltar. The ship rocked to and fro. Everything in the cabins rolled up and down. Even the heavy pianos in the lounge went crashing against the wall. The teacher one day, a teacher told us in the class that she was an English woman, and there was a storm when they were crossing the English Channel. English Channel means the area between England and France. இங்கிலாந்துக்கும் பிரான்ஸுக்கும் நடுவில் ஒரு sea route போகும். So that place is called English Channel. Okay, when the teacher was traveling on the ship through English Channel, there was a huge storm from Gibraltar. Gibraltar means near Spain. Okay, near Spain country. So when they were crossing the area, there was a huge storm. Okay, the ship rocked to and fro. Rocked to and fro means the ship was shaking. The ship was shaking front and back. It will be so difficult to travel on a ship during the stormy time, isn't it? So the ship will be rolling, ship will be jumping and rolling, isn't it? So that is what happening when she was crossing on English Channel, when she was crossing in the English Channel area. Okay, the ship was shaking here and there. Even the heavy pianos in the lounge, everything in the cabins rolled up and down. So ரூம்ல இருக்கிற எல்லாமே வந்து சுத்த ஆரம்பிச்சிடுச்சு. ஓகே, ரூம்ல இருக்கிற the things எல்லாமே they started crashing, they started rolling up and down. Even the heavy pianos in the lounge went crashing against the wall. Even there was a piano in that room. It was hitting against the wall because the ship was rolling. The ship was shaking here and there because of the storm. So that she revealed everything what had happened to her when she was traveling on the ocean on a ship. This made my imagination run wild. When the teacher told him like that about the incident happened to her, the author, okay, the author confused. The author was the author Vasanta. She was confused, and she was she was completely confused about this. Okay, ஒரு பயங்கரமான ஒரு கதையே அவங்களுக்கு ஞாபகம் வருது. யாருக்கு? அந்த க ஆத்தருக்கு. Turning to uncle again, I said, wouldn't it be a fun if the storm broke when we have lunch? Then the tables with all the food on them would run away from us, and the chairs with us sitting on them wouldn't be a merry-go-round. Okay, the Vasanta tells the uncle that, sir, if the weather comes, if the storm comes, what will happen? All our foods will be broken into two pieces. All our dining tables will be broken into pieces. All our lunch will be rolling down into the sea, isn't it? So this is how she was telling them. And uh, and the chairs and the chairs in the and the chairs in the ship, what will happen? Everything will be falling into the ocean, isn't it? With us on the table wouldn't be merry go around. So when we are sitting like this, no, on our chair, we will feel like we are playing in the merry go round. Merry go round ன்றது வந்து ராட்டினம். ராட்டில சுத்துற மாதிரி நம்ம கப்பல்ல சுத்தி வந்துட்டு இருப்போம், அந்த புயல் வந்துச்சுன்னா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவ சொல்றா. ஓகே. So who is actually narrating the story is Vasanta. She's the narrator of the story. She tells us her real story happened to her. Okay. So let's continue this lesson in the next video.